Hey there, I'm Dan Brisebois, and this is the Farmer's Spreadsheet Academy. Today we're going to talk about keeping numbers and words separate. For this example, we're going to look at a pack list of what you need to pack for your different sales outlets. The first three columns have to do with what you're working with, what crop you're packing, in what format you're packing it, and then also how much you value it for. The next three columns are the outlets that you're distributing to, so a CSA and two farmers markets. And this last column, which is in red, this column is the total amount that's needed to pack, and it's a sum of these three columns. There's also a row on the bottom of the sheet called value, which shows the value of what is being sent to each of these outlets, and that's done with the handy sum product function we looked at in last week's video. A pack sheet is very useful, and I hope you have one for your wash station. But there is a limitation with this particular version of the sheet, and it's simply you know how much to pack, but how much do you harvest? You can intuitively see that 100 half-pound bags will take you 50 pounds of arugula. However, it's not that easy for your spreadsheet to tell you this automatically because the format column has two pieces of information in the same cell. We need to have one piece of information in the cell to be able to use it effectively. Let's look at this other tab. On the left are the three columns we just looked at in the pack sheet, and on the right are the four columns that I'm proposing. And the big difference is that we're going to split one format column into two format columns that have only one type of information per column. Let's look at arugula. One of the columns that we create is the unit of the format, and in this case it's a pound. The next column is the format quantity, half a pound, 0.5 pounds. If you do split one column into two, please note that your prices might also change. In this case, you can see the price has gone from $5 for a half a pound to $10 for 1 pound. And you just happen to be selling 0.5 of that pound. So the price would be 0.5 times $10. Here's another example, cucumbers, which we were selling 3 cucumbers for $2.50. Now we're actually going to separate it so that we're selling by unit. So here it's 1 unit is 83 cents. And I'd like to highlight, in addition to having separated the words from the numbers in this case, I've also changed the word cucumber to unit. And similarly in broccoli, which is listed as a head of broccoli for $3.50, I'm going to change the word head to unit. This might seem a little bit nitpicky, but I've found that the more you standardize the way you think and talk about parts of your farm, the easier it is for you to think about it. And the easier it is for you to think about it, the more profitable your farm can be down the line. So these four columns are revised based on the first three columns, and in many cases there's not a very big difference. If you look at basil, one bunch for $3 versus bunch for $3 doesn't make a big difference. It's really in situations where the amount is different than one that this is going to change. Let's take these four columns and put them back into our pack list. Here is the revised pack list. You can see how we've split the two format columns. The rest is fairly similar. We're still looking for 100 half pounds of arugula. One important difference is this value formula down here now is multiplying the quantity by the price by the number for each outlet. This is an important distinction, and it's just because we've separated the quantity out of the unit. But otherwise the sheet works the same. How much arugula do we need to harvest? Let's add a column called total to harvest. And we'll multiply the total to pack by the quantity in each format, and we need to harvest 50 pounds of arugula. We can drag this cell down to copy the formula in all the cells. And now we know how much of each item to harvest. And that is why we keep numbers and words separate. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you next week for another Farmer Spreadsheet tip. See you later.